Hey everyone, welcome back to the review. Today I'm going to be comparing the NFC North line and ranking them first to last and seeing who has the best, who has the worst, where does the Lions rank in all of it, where do the Packers rank in all of it, why? Well, let's get started. First off, I want to thank a good old faithful subscriber for the idea for the video, James Burgess. Offensive line comparisons in the NFC position by position. I'd like to thank him for this idea. And don't worry, James, I'll also be doing your Rodgers video very soon. So thank you for the suggestion, and let's get this started. So let's compare. The Chicago Bears have Tevin Jenkins at left tackle, James Daniel at left guard, Cody Whitehair at center, Alex Bars at right guard, and German Ifedi at right tackle as of the current depth chart rating. The Detroit Lions have Taylor Decker at left tackle, Jonah Jackson at left guard, Frank Ragnow at center, Big V at right guard, and Penei Sewell at right tackle. So let's start this. So Tevin Jenkins versus Taylor Decker. I'm not even going to go into stats for this because simply Taylor Decker is a top 10 tackle and Tevin Jenkins is an unproven rookie. There's really nothing to go against here on this. So first let's look at, next is the left guard position. Jonah Jackson versus James Daniels. Let's compare. James Daniels, PFF. He had 1 sack in 2019, and in 2020, he didn't get much playing time. So I'm going to be comparing to 2019 just so you guys know. That's far better than Jonah's 5 allowed. Jonah allowed 5 and had an even lower PFF grade. I can just, there you go. So he had 5 more penalties and a smaller PFF grade. If we compare Cody Whitehair to Ragnow's a top 3 center. I can't even compare it. Whitehair even allowed 3 sacks. It's uncomparable. So far, the only thing the Bears have better is the left guard position. Alex Bars, PFF. So he allowed 1 sack on 568 snaps. And he hasn't really got to do much. But here's the thing. Big V allowed 6 on like the same amount of snaps. So the right guard position goes to the Bears. Jermaine Ifedi versus Jermaine Ifedi, BFF. Naturally a guard. And was good as a guard. 2 sacks. But he's also struggled fairly most of his career. And he's naturally a guard. I do not believe he's going to be better than supposedly the next Trent Williams at right tackle. So the Lions had the better left tackle, center, and right tackle, while the Bears have the better interior, but I also believe in the end Big V will be better. It's just statistically right now, Bars is better than Big V. Next, let's go to the Green Bay Packers versus the Detroit Lions line. The Green Bay Packers have David Bakhtiari versus Taylor Decker. While both are fantastic tackles, Bakhtiari is arguably the best tackle in football. I don't even think it's really comparable, but just so you guys can see the difference, David Bakhtiari. There we go. He had 1 sack and 758 snaps, had an elite grade of 91.8, and in most cases, his sacks are just good. That's going to count his abilities as a run blocker. Taylor Decker just allowed 2 this last season. Taylor Decker, PFF. You have two, but it's far smaller BFF grade. And just Decker has had inconsistencies in his career before. Bakhtiari is a more proven player, and it's just arguably one of the best tackles in football. Elton Jenkins versus Jonah Jackson. One. That's already better. On 1,037 snaps, 201. He's better than Jonah Jackson. Josh Myers, the rookie, is not going to be better than Frank Ragnow. Right guard, Lucas Patrick, who only allowed 3 sacks last season. Lucas Patrick, PFF, is better than Big V. Billy Turner, a far more proven player than Sewell, only allowed 2 sacks on 844 snaps. I'm going to give the Packers the O-line in every position but the center. So number one, so far, the Lions have a better O-line than the Bears. The Packers have a better O-line than the Lions. Now let's compare the Vikings to the Lions. At left tackle, the Minnesota Vikings have Christian Darrisaw, who's a rookie, and it's just not as proven. He was picked at 23 overall. He's not going to be better than a top 10 tackle, in my opinion. Top 5 tackle in Taylor Decker. So I don't think I'm going to go into this. Dakota Dozier. Dakota Dozier, PFF. Let's compare that to Jonah. We'll go to 2020. He allowed 6 sacks to Jonah's 5 and an even worse PFF grade, and even had 9 penalties. So far, the Lions have the better left tackle and left guard. Garrett Bradbury versus Frank Ragnow. 5 sacks allowed to, let's look, what is Frank Ragnow? Zero. So Lions already have the entirely better left side. Let's compare. Ezra Cleveland. Five sacks allowed in 622 snaps versus Big V, who had 6 sacks on 450 snaps. So, in total, Ezra allowed less sacks than Big V did. Now, granted, Big V also is going in and out of position, but statistically, until Big V proves otherwise, he's not better than Ezra Cleveland, especially since Ezra Cleveland was even a rookie and hasn't even fully developed yet. So, the right guard position goes to the Vikings. Next is Brian O'Neill versus Penei Sewell. Brian O'Neill actually has not been a tackle for the Vikings until this season now. As a guard, he only allowed 3 snaps, but he had 8 penalties. And he had 1 in 2019 allowed. 2018 he had 0. So he's been solid, but he's also been ranked as the middle of the pack by BFF. And I just don't think he's going to be better than Penei Sewell. I think the right tackle position goes to Sewell, who, once again, I know he is a rookie, but O'Neill is technically a rookie in itself by being switched from guard to tackle. I'm going to go with Penei Sewell, who has the size and the great O-line coach compared to the Vikings' questionable O-line coaching. Whereas the only reason they even have a better right guard is because he beat out an injured Big V, who was switching in and out of positions. The Lions have the better O-line than the Vikings. So, in total, only one group in the NFC North has a better O-line, the Green Bay Packers. So in my opinion, the number 1 O-line in the division is Green Bay Packers, statistically and even logically. In second place, it's the Detroit Lions. In third place, the battle is interesting, between the Bears and the Vikings, who has the better O-line. I'm going to give it to the Bears. The Bears at least have James Daniels, and I do like Tevin Jenkins. And well, let's compare it statistically, but I'm still going to go with this. I'm going to show you why I think the Bears. Cody Whitehair allowed 3 sacks to Bradbury's 5. Alex Bars, I think it's going to be worse than Ezra Cleveland. Jeremy Feedy is the same as Brian O'Neill. So in total, the Bears have this better left side other than Darisaw. And they have equal parts in the right guard. So I think the Bears' line and Vikings' line will be similar. They'll both be bad, but they're below. So my rankings goes number 1, Green Bay Packers, number 2, Detroit Lions, number 3, Chicago Bears, and 4, Minnesota Vikings. Now, I do want to state that I think the Lions could end up having the best of the line so long as Big V is healthy and proves himself to be good, and Sewell has a transition. But as of right now, I cannot prove that the Lions can be number 1 based on predictions. So that's my video for today, guys. That's my last video for today, guys. I might consider doing another one if I'm bored, but I'm just kind of not feeling it. And I might be making an announcement soon today. So that might be my only next video. But I'll see you guys later. Welcome to the den and one pride.